Okay, this is the third video I've made so far on the matter that I'm about to discuss because I was having some difficulty with the audio and the video is not that great right now. Well, there will be future improvements, but we're gonna discuss the matters in the Middle East, and there's always been conflict there. So we have already established that. So. There is a conspiracy theory on the internet that the pipeline is not the conspiracy itself, but there was a pipeline proposal to Turkey through Syria, which Bashar al-Assad rejected, and I believe it was something he didn't want to upset the Russians or something like that. Anyways, allegedly this pipeline was backed by U.S. and European allies. And he rejected the proposal, and this has orchestrated the theory that the rebellion in Syria is being backed by the Central Intelligence Agencies. And I find it hard to argue with that, given that there is this CIA-operated program called Timber Sycamore. And to quote Wikipedia, Timber Sycamore is a classified weapons supply and training program run by the United States Central Intelligence Agency and supported by various Arab intelligence services, most notably that of Saudi Arabia, the people who really tried to push Clinton into office with thousands upon millions of dollars, and who was going to go in there, virtually kick Syria's door down and drone them to death. Yeah, it's kind of disturbing. It's kind of disturbing because this program apparently arms rebels, and I followed the situation in Syria for almost 10 years now, just looking at various sites on the internet and watching some horrifyingly gruesome videos which showed the attacks being placed out by rebels, and of course Western media is just not going to be fucking honest about it. It's hair-raising and it's very scary, but at the same time, I'm not condemning any sort of religion. I'm not never going to condemn a religion, but the conflict in Syria, from my understanding, was started because Bashar al-Assad pushed for a secular government, and extremists were not satisfied with that outcome, and they were the ones who started executing government officials. So, I'm very sorry to say that, but this is just from my understanding, from what I've gathered through the years. So, it's a major conflict of interest, definitely grounds for our fucking proxy war, and I think this should just fucking concern people a little bit more than Hollywood and all the scandals that are going on today right now. Granted, Hollywood is turning into just this fucking horror story. That's just the ugly reality of it. I mean, this is the same Central Intelligence Agency that supposedly dropped JFK's brain into a fucking garbage can or flushed it down the toilet. Dude, what the fuck is going on with this fucking... What is going on, man? We've got to start questioning things, but we don't want any form of violence. We do not want to orchestrate any sort of large-scale rebellion with guns and ammunition. We don't want to do that, but we do want to protect our rights to arms because the government government's not really a friendly entity once you break it down. It's a collective group of people with a bunch of money and interests into fucking wars with the Middle East, and God almighty help me, God. We don't want to get into any more of those bullshit fucking proxy wars. I mean, it's bad, dude. It's bad. We don't want any more George Bush styling voting for another invasion of the Middle East. And again, we have spectrums like insane people who are just starving their people and threatening to nuke LA with a bomb, and we're dealing with so many more important issues that could have heavily implicated effects on American society, and you might not walk out your door tomorrow breathing the fresh air, living in this country, enjoying your video games and your movies or your comic books or whatever it is that you tie yourself down to and ease your boredom away with. We've got to consider that there's always going to be a possibility for future warfare. We don't want it, and that's the reality. That's the reality. We got to open our eyes, and we've got to wake up. It's sad, but it's fucking true. Yeah.